What contributions have the Romans made to our society? Well, it's clear that they built roads, which is a given. But what about their teachings on how to live in the 21st century? While it may seem unlikely, there has actually been a recent surge of interest in the philosophies of three Roman Stoic thinkers who provided guidance for modern living. These individuals were Seneca, who served as a tutor to Emperor Nero, Epictetus, a former slave, and Marcus Aurelius, who was an emperor himself. Contemporary literature that draws from their philosophies and presents them as a guide for modern living includes works such as A Guide to the Good Life by William Irvine, Stoicism and the Art of Happiness by Donald Robertson, The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman, and How to be a Stoic by Massimo Pigliucci. What unites all these books is the belief that individuals can gain valuable insights by revisiting the ideas of these Roman Stoic philosophers. There is even an annual week dedicated to Stoicism. Stoicism teaches that the key to a fulfilling and happy life lies in developing a virtuous and rational mental state. According to the Stoics, an ideal life is one that aligns with nature, of which we are all a part, and is characterized by a composed indifference towards external events. Originating in Greece around 300 BC, Stoicism was founded by Zeno, who used to teach at the Painted Stoa in Athens, hence the name Stoicism. While the early Stoic works are mostly lost, it is the Roman Stoics who have had the greatest influence over the centuries and continue to do so today. Control how you think. So what were the concepts? Two fundamental principles are outlined in the handbook, a concise text that encapsulates the philosophies of Epictetus. The first principle is that some things are within our control while others are not, and that a significant portion of our discontent stems from mistakenly believing that we can control things that are actually beyond our influence. What is within our control? According to Epictetus, we have very limited control. We cannot dictate what happens to us. We are unable to govern the words or actions of those around us, and we cannot even entirely manage our own bodies, which can suffer injury, illness, and ultimately perish regardless of our desires. The only aspect that we truly have dominion over is our thoughts and the judgments we form about events. This brings us to the second fundamental principle from Epictetus. It's not events themselves that disturb us, but rather our perceptions of those events. Events occur, and then we form judgments about them. If we judge that something truly negative has occurred, we may become upset, sad, or angry, depending on the situation. If we anticipate something negative happening, we might experience fear or anxiety. All of these emotions stem from the judgments we make. Events, in their essence, are devoid of inherent value, as what may appear dreadful to us could be a matter of indifference to someone else, or even welcomed by others. It is our judgments that inject value into the equation, and it is these value judgments that trigger our emotional reactions. The positive Stoic insight is that these value judgments are the sole aspect over which we have absolute authority. Events occur, none of which possess inherent goodness or badness, and it is within our capability to determine their value. The paradox of Stoicism, as articulated by Epictetus, is that we have minimal control over nearly everything, yet simultaneously we have the potential for complete control over our own happiness. Train your mind. Initially, this might appear to downplay the genuine difficulties that individuals encounter in their everyday lives. How can simply altering one's thoughts assist someone who is grappling with the basic necessity of putting food on the table, for example? The Stoics did not evade this issue. They openly recognized that life can be arduous at times. Seneca was acutely aware of this. He endured exile, multiple losses, and was ultimately compelled to take his own life by Nero. He also understood that it was all too simple to declare, "I won't allow these external circumstances to unsettle me," but far more challenging to actually follow through and remain undisturbed oneself. Therefore, the Stoics devised a comprehensive set of practical exercises aimed at assisting individuals in integrating Stoic principles into their everyday routines. Seneca suggested reflecting at the end of each day, recognizing moments when one becomes agitated by trivial matters, or reacts angrily to someone who may not have deserved it, and so forth. By acknowledging his errors, he aspired to improve his conduct the following day. Marcus Aurelius employed a different approach, beginning each morning by reminding himself that he would likely encounter numerous individuals who were angry, stressed, impatient, and ungrateful throughout the day. By contemplating this beforehand, he hoped to be less inclined to react in a similar manner. Additionally, he reflected on the realization that none of these individuals were behaving this way intentionally. They were victims of their own misguided judgments. Here we encounter another paradox. Nobody actively chooses to be unhappy, stressed, or angry. Yet these emotions are indeed the result of our judgments, the one aspect within our control. Accept what happens. Another Stoic tactic involves reminding ourselves of our relative insignificance. The world does not center around us. Aurelius frequently contemplated in his meditations the immense scale of the universe and the boundless expanse of time extending into the past and future, with the aim of placing his own brief existence within a broader framework. When viewed from this cosmic standpoint, our lives are mere fleeting moments. In light of this, why should we anticipate the universe to fulfill whatever desires we may happen to have? On the contrary, it would be illogical to expect it to bend to our will. As Epictetus expressed, if you anticipate the universe to provide what you desire, you will end up disappointed. But if you accept whatever the universe presents, then life will be much more tranquil. Once more, this is simpler in theory than in practice, but an increasing number of individuals are heeding this Stoic counsel and striving to integrate it into their daily lives.